Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Justin Lin here at Rehab and Revive Physical Therapy, where we rehab your mind to revive your body. Today we're gonna do another reaction video of TikTok segments of these health influencers, some good, some bad. I really don't know what's gonna be thrown at me. It's been compiled ahead and it's gonna be put on a laptop, and I'm gonna just react and comment and give you my honest criticism or education, and really teach you guys that some of the stuff is good. Some of these common things that are taught out there are being misrepresented, mistaught, and you could get injured. So we want to make sure that you know what to do and or where to look for right resources. Our first video was flagged for some of the violent nature of some of these injuries, and it was age restricted. We'll link that because I had a great time educating, and I don't think a lot of you got a chance to see that in your feed. So check that out. We're gonna link that below, but we're excited to get to it right now.
My friend, your joints should not hurt when you exercise. There are many possible reasons if they do, but here are three common ones.
I wonder if he lives in nature.
Is that we may not be ready for an exercise.
Or he's like borrowing someone's house.
Faster than our joints, so sometimes
I want to
we
get to nature.
Movement, even if we're able to do it. With
supported squat.
Easier variation of the exercise
generally, he's got good form, this guy. We can be friends.
No shame in doing these easier variations, because they can make you stronger faster and without injury. One of the best things you can do for your health, strength, and life is to remove ego from the equation of your training. Another common issue is when people move
a lot of great
too
flexibility.
Fast. Once again, our pride may force us to use momentum to compensate for strength on an exercise for which we're not ready. Experimenting with speed can be useful after you're conditioned for it, but it's useful to be able to do 1 second up, 1 second pause,
I like
and
this
1
guy.
second down. The third common issue is simply just improper technique. By the way, this is Bernard. He's a fake plant. It's okay to make exercises harder, but we generally want to avoid anything too weird. Not everything that hurts you makes you stronger. Have a beautiful day.
Chiropractic adjustments with this little thrust table. I think, yeah. So, these, I'm sure some chiropractors would disagree, but, these are basically improving some proprioception. When they drop it really fast, these drop tables, they create like excitement to those cells, and, that's if someone just kind of runs into you like once, and then you have another person run into you like a second time, you're going to be more ready the second time. So those muscles are going to be ready for action, and that's, partly the goal. And then you're going to feel a little bit more stable, a little bit stronger. You can do muscle testing after that and find yourself stronger, but usually short-lived because you need more repetition. Not that I would do this repetitively, just in case there's also a manipulation or adjustment, but you want to stabilize things that you mobilize, is what we say here at Rehab and Revive. So, yeah, and you kind of see it again. It's just all that, and just creates that fast muscle twitch fibers. And then Bob and Brad, our arch nemesis, talking about pillows? No, we talk about, what is this? What is he going to do with pillows?
You're going to have your head turned
talking about sleep?
To one direction, either to the right or to the left, and the neck does not like that.
Yes, I agree with Bob and Brad.
Have you ever
so
seen
we got some
tape
on
their knees?
Some kinesio tape.
Work? Your knee is mostly a hinge joint. It likes to flex and extend. So when it rotates, especially with force or impact, that's when injuries often happen. For minor ligament or meniscus injuries, if you hinge that knee very carefully with little or no rotation, it might not hurt, and it might even heal up on its own. Tape manufacturers, they make all kinds of crazy claims about the benefits of taping, but the real benefit, maybe, is that it draws your attention to that area, so you might move more carefully with
I'll disagree with that. Sometimes that tape, just makes you a little bit more mindful, makes you not try to go past certain foot mechanics and ankle mechanics, but I generally, depends how you tape. We have a whole bunch of videos about taping, which direction, which way, so being intentional about taping is probably the key to that one.
So this will be a rare shirtless video. I hope
I'm afraid to go shirtless.
All right,
this guy's brave.
Suck in your stomach. Think of bringing your belly button closer to your spine. Kind of like
so he's doing more of a awareness exercise, taught PT 101.
In our stomach and
if you're going for a little bit more tightness versus function, I would say that's about what people are teaching these days. Nice. I need to go visit this guy's place.
If you you want a stronger squat,
Yeah, this
you
squat
need
guy,
to
this guy's
determine
buckling.
your optimal squat stance based on your body
Sounds like my
anatomy.
buddy
I'll show
Albert.
you exactly how to do that. Depending on how your femur attaches to your pelvis, your femur could be rotated backwards, called retroversion, or rotated forward.
And yep,
called
some people are born that
anteversion.
way.
If you can externally rotate more than you can internally rotate,
This is
in a
also
lying or
not
seated
necessarily
position,
true.
you are likely retrograde.
Sometimes
The
the
ideal
hips
squat stance
off
for you is
axis,
with
and that
toes
can be
pointing
causing
out. If you have
some
more
of this
internal rotation and less
anteversion
external
and
rotation, you are
retroversion.
likely
So first you got to
The
get the
ideal
hip in
squat
neutral.
stance for
Sometimes
you
it's this,
is
and
with the toes
if
pointing
it's
forward.
back, if the hips, like let's just say this guy's laying down right now, drops down, and his leg, it's hard for him to go this way. If it's more back, it's actually hard for him to externally or internally rotate. I mean, his legs going externally. So that can be a problem. Let's see what happens here.
Internally rotate in the lying or seated position.
Yeah, I don't like
you are
these
likely
tests.
retrograde. The
This is
ideal
not a
squat
true
stance for you is
true
with the toes
function.
pointing
But
out. If you have more internal rotation and less external rotation, you are likely anteverted. The ideal squat
rounded shoulders. Tip 2 is using a pec stretch. So we don't do this here. That wall corner stretch. I can see why people like it. They feel something, but a lot of times they're feeling shoulder capsules. And so when you really lean, we've got another great stretch video on that. It's more about just keeping yourself in the same plane and avoiding that capsular stretch, because some people can't differentiate between the muscle or the capsule. So that can be harmful and making your shoulder a little bit more unstable.
Another hip mobility tip, the hammies.
It looks like a
Who has
yogi.
hammies? Raise your hand.
Right
100%
here.
Of us. So what I want you to do first is test your limit here, so we can see if we actually improve something. I like to use this method of flossing
Okay,
for all
so
of the body, but
let's talk about
especially for the
flossing.
hamstrings. So what I
Not
want
the
you to do
dance
is
flossing.
elevate your
It sounds like
foot
our nerve
onto a
flossing.
surface. Keep my knee bent, and I'm gonna hinge my torso
Looks
forward
like he's
like
got
so.
some
Here,
good
I'm gonna
form with
gradually
this.
work my knee back to straight
I don't
just for a
disagree with
second,
this as a
and
type
then
of flossing around the
straight
knees,
and
the
bend.
sciatic
So
nerve,
this is
tibial nerve
flossing mode.
transition
What
right
you
at that
find
knee
is that
junction.
your
So
body will gradually let you get a little bit deeper and deeper into this. Go ahead and retest
All
after
right.
you're done. And oh, I just
So he's
stretched my
doing a
left side, and
pre-test,
it feels
post-test. We love
way
pre-test,
more
post-test.
deep here, because my body
bottoms up exercise, also a great one. Also a type of flossing, more towards the
below if you saw an improvement, and follow us on Strength Side for
Mr.
more
Strength
great
Side.
flexibility tips.
pain in the butt. Pain in the butt. So piriformis, figure 4 stretch. And there's a little bit more on. So a lot of people really like this stretch, my wife included. I think this also is more of a hip capsule stretch, more than it actually is a piriformis stretch. I actually think piriformis a little differently. So, and we think it's more of a sliding, gliding type of thing that moves up and down versus kind of this diagonal. So when you're stretching this diagonal, it looks like you're really just kind of ramming that hip. Feels good. It stretches out some of these proprioceptors, but you know, I'd advise less. I'd rather do the hug towards your chest and then pull across. This guy's doing leg raises, and you can see he's doing.
You don't want to keep your head on the ground,
Yeah, definitely talking about lower back.
Instead,
He's really swinging it, which is not wrong. You can see how the head, neck's like really, you know, a lot of momentum is being used. But when he raises his neck, he does stabilize it a little bit more. I would say this is good advice. I would say this guy's doing it a little bit, still too much momentum, and he's put a lot of compression on his lower back.